In the early days of the world, when humanity was still young, the earth became filled with violence and corruption. People had turned away from goodness. They lied, stole, fought, and destroyed one another without remorse. The sound of anger filled the streets, and families lived in fear. It seemed as if darkness covered every corner of the earth. But among millions, God saw one man standing out from the rest, Noah, a righteous man who still listened, still trusted, and still walked in the ways of God. While others ignored truth, Noah remained faithful. One day God revealed his sorrow. The world had become too wicked to continue. With a heavy heart, God told Noah that he would send a great flood to wash the earth clean. But Noah and his family would be saved. God commanded him to build a massive ark far larger than any ship that had ever existed. Although Noah didn't fully understand what was coming, he obeyed. He and his sons gathered strong wood, tools, and rope. Day by day, under the heat of the sun, Noah hammered, lifted, carved, and built. The ark began to rise 3 levels, many rooms, and a huge door in its side. It was large enough to carry life through a storm that the world could not imagine. But as Noah worked, people gathered to mock him. They laughed at the giant structure. They whispered, "A ship on dry land?" Noah has lost his mind, yet Noah continued. His faith was stronger than their doubt. After many years, when the ark was finally completed, an incredible event took place. Animals began appearing from everywhere. Elephants marched steadily in pairs. Lions walked calmly beside deer. Birds filled the sky. Tiny insects crawled in lines. Creatures of all colors and sizes moved with purpose toward the ark. The people who once mocked Noah now watched in awe and confusion. Noah and his family prepared the final supplies: food, water, and tools. When all the animals were safely inside, they entered the ark as well. Then, in a moment of divine power, God himself closed the door. The world grew silent. A single raindrop touched the dry ground. Then another. Then the wind shifted, and the sky darkened. Thunder roared. Suddenly the heavens opened, pouring rain with violent force. Rivers overflowed, oceans rose, and water burst from the ground. The people who mocked Noah began to cry out in fear, but the ark was sealed, safe by God's hand. Rain fell for 40 days and 40 nights. Lightning tore through the sky. Waves crashed against the ark, lifting it high above treetops and mountains. The world as everyone knew it disappeared beneath the waters. Inside the ark, life continued. Noah and his family fed the animals, comforted the frightened ones, and prayed for the storm to end. The constant sound of rain, the rocking of the boat, and the cries of animals created a world unlike anything they had known. But God kept them safe. At last the rain stopped. The clouds broke apart, leaving a silent, endless sea. Days turned into weeks, then into months. The ark drifted peacefully, held up by the waters that had once destroyed everything. Noah opened a window and released a raven, but it found no place to land. Then he sent out a dove. It returned, finding nothing. 7 days later, Noah tried again. This time, the dove carried a fresh olive leaf in its beak, the sign of life, the sign of hope. The waters continued to recede. Mountains peaked above the waves. Forests reappeared. Rivers formed. Finally, God told Noah it was time to leave the ark. When Noah opened the door, sunlight filled the space, warming his face for the first time in many months. The animals rushed out into the new world, running, flying, crawling, exploring a land washed clean. Noah stepped onto dry ground and immediately built an altar. He offered thanks to God for saving them, for protecting them, and for giving the world a second chance. Then something miraculous happened. A beam of bright light shimmered across the sky. Colors stretched from one horizon to the other, forming the very first rainbow. And God spoke a promise, his covenant. Never again will a flood destroy the whole earth. When you see the rainbow, remember my promise to all living creatures. Noah watched the rainbow glow, knowing it represented mercy, hope, and new beginnings, a world restored, a future preserved. And through one man's faith, humanity had a new start.